The show focused on delivering beneficial information on everything to do with products and services that can improve your life. This is Experts on Call on AM 650.
I've got a never-ending love for you.
Not the right song.
From now on, that's all I want.
Well, there you go, the Bramletts, Delaney and Bonnie, with that never-ending song of love. Now, how that connects to disputes in the condo world, I don't know, Tony Gioventu, but I'm sure that even the best of situations started out with some kind of love at the front end of it all. It's Quay Pacific's Talk About Strata, friends. Welcome back. I'm Stirling Fox. Tony Gioventu is the Executive Director of the Condominium Homeowners Association of British Columbia, and Wendy Atcheson is with us. Wendy is Vice President and Registrar with the BC Homeowner Protection Office. Wendy, it's so good of you to join us today. I'd like you to kind of referee this next segment, if you would, because that's what you do a lot of. I'm a builder. You've already defined the fact that in order for any builder to go forward with any kind of strata construction in British Columbia, they need to talk to you people at the Homeowner Protection Office, and they have to have a warranty program as part of the package that they bring to you, and they have to have all of these criteria established, and then you give them the green light, and then they can go off and get their... Do they...
they get their building permit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, do they leave a deposit with you? Is there a financial security element? Tony was talking about when you go to these pre-sales, you have to make a deposit. Does a builder have to set aside a certain amount of cash with the Homeowner Protection Office?
Not with the Homeowner Protection Office, so they do pay a small administrative fee.
Of course.
But really the deposit is going to be with the warranty provider, the insurance company.
Ah, okay. So, and you said there are 4 private companies basically in British Columbia in this line of business of providing home warranty packages to developers and builders, correct?
That's right, yes.
Okay, so I'm the builder, and I've got all my ducks in a row. I've got the green light from the Homeowner Protection Office, because now that means I've got some kind of warranty package. What's in the package, Wendy? What's that for?
Well, there's 2 pieces to the puzzle. They need to be licensed with us, and in order to get a license, they need the backing of a warranty provider. So the warranty provider, they have fairly broad ability to ask questions of the builder and make sure that they are experienced and have the proper staff and the right subtrades, etc.
Right.
And then we'll license them. At that point, they can then go to the warranty provider and talk to them about their project that they'd like to register.
Now, Tony, you deal with warranty providers and insurance issues constantly in your capacity as the Executive Director of the Condominium Homeowners Association of BC, and all of those strata people who email you and call you and, oh my gosh, those sorts of things all the time. So with builders and these warranty providers, play the role of the warranty provider, being approached by, say, me, the builder. I want to build those 2 towers on Kingsway. What are you going to want from me before you're going to jump on my bandwagon and say, okay, I'm in?
Well, the warranty provider is an insurance policy, and the insurance companies are offshoots of international insurance companies.
Okay.
So I'm going to sell you a policy, and for that policy, which is being sold as part of the homes eventually, what happens is I'm going to want assurances from you that I have minimal amounts of risk. So I'm going to want to know about your ability to complete the project and your financial picture and your construction standards, your engineers, your architects, designers, everything that's going to take place through the course of this construction. And I'll also want to have a contingency plan that in the event something happens in the market, something happens to the corporation that you can't continue, the building will still continue and there's still going to be warranty on this project. Because as the warranty provider, I'm going to have a commitment out there. So, you know, the warranty industry is an insurance industry.
Sure.
Insurance industries sell a commodity for profit. So our interest as a warranty or an insurance industry is going to see that these projects get to the very end of the project without any losses, which means no claims.
Right.
Which means we want the projects to be built as responsibly and as well as they can be to avoid the claims. That's where the essence of the success of this program works.
Okay.
Is you have a third party who is managing the risk of the project. That's really where the essence of this program works so well for consumers.
Because as a potential owner moving into this new situation, as Wendy's already described earlier, if I'm upset with some deficiency in, as I perceive it, in the model that I've paid for, it's not up to what I'm expecting. I'm going to go after the warranty people, and they in turn are going to chase the builder. I don't have to go after the builder anymore, do I, Wendy?
You don't have to. I mean, it's always, we always encourage homeowners to work with their builder, of course, because a lot of these things can get solved just by talking it through. And if the builder has a good customer service program, often it never gets to the warranty provider. But if that's not working as well as it might, the insurance company's always there, and the insurance company's ultimately at risk.
So then, what? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony. You were just going to add.
Well, I was going to say the warranty kicks in the day the first person moves into the first unit.
Oh, okay.
Right, or the first unit is sold.
All right.
That's when the warranty starts. So the warranty provider is the first line of defense, or the provider of the claims for any defects or claims that are filed with the warranty company from that very first day to the end of the 10th year. The developer certainly has a really good, if they have a good relationship with the Strata and with the warranty company, the developer, as Wendy said, will have a service program, and they generally will remediate any of the warranty claims, many of which are cosmetic or electrical mechanical in the very first 2 years. Many of those types of claims are often just parts of building systems that need to be fine-tuned as you get through the first years. But if there is something that is a significant thing that deals with the building envelope, roofing systems, something with the structure, it's going to be a more involved warranty claim.
You mentioned a contingency. I think it was you, Tony, talking about a clause in the deal saying that if, again, you as the warranty provider interviewing a developer who wants you on board for a project, you're going to include language that suggests if there are dramatic changes in the marketplace that are unforeseen and things kind of go south or worse, there's some kind of protection, certainly for people, individuals, who might otherwise just fall between the cracks.
Well, I certainly wouldn't speak on behalf of the warranty providers. They each have their own business models, how they set this up. But the warranty provider, once they've issued the warranty, they're going to have to meet their obligations within the contract that they've set out with the developer and for this community that they've eventually set out. The warranty provider has the ability, if the conditions of that contract are breached, to suspend the warranty prior to the units being sold and coming into effect. The moment the first unit is sold or conveyed, however, and the first people move in, that warranty stays in place.
Right, okay.
It cannot be retracted.
Now, but I'm glad you brought up the whole idea of unforeseen market conditions. I mean, we live in pretty bizarre economic times, and there's the Euro thing going on, and our best customer, China, is having hiccups, and who knows what the heck's coming around the corner. So, Wendy, and we've seen them, a project is announced, the hole is dug, and everything looked tickety-boo for a while, and then all of a sudden the whole thing goes south, and it's just a giant hole in the ground from which nothing evolves and eventually gets filled back in. Somebody loses big time in that kind of scenario. What sort of protection is there in that kind of weird market thing where the company just couldn't carry on?
Well, at that time, if it hasn't carried on, then the units actually haven't been sold at that point. They might have been pre-sold, which is a different issue, as Tony was talking about before. In that case, it just gets deregistered. There is no home warranty insurance anymore, and they can't continue with construction. If, for instance, that happened halfway through the construction of the project, that's where our office would come in and make sure things didn't fall through the cracks. So a building permit's already been issued. Right,
and you're kind of on the hook in credibility terms because you were the guys that issued the permit, right?
So we find out when that home has been deregistered from home warranty insurance. At that point, construction can't continue. We'll talk to the builder, let them know. We can even issue compliance orders, basically like a stop work order that you can no longer construct this building unless you put warranty back on. So that's a really important enforcement mechanism that our office plays, so that inadvertently construction doesn't continue and then somebody buys it and doesn't have home warranty insurance.
Yeah, I guess it's always buyer beware. I mean, we're adults here, and there are big dollars at stake usually, so generally speaking, we should go into these circumstances pretty eyes wide open and as aware as possible. It's not always the case, but that would be a best case scenario. And yet, things still go sideways from time to time that no one expected. Think 2009. Again, I guess what I'm trying to get from the two of you is, what sort of assurances can people who are, for example, going through that phase in their lives right now, where they're, for the first time perhaps, seriously contemplating investing in a real dramatic change of life and going into a strata? Okay, so what happens if everything goes sideways? Are we just hooped? Are we just out of everything? We sold the house, we moved to this, and now that's gone. Now what?
Well, if the building isn't built, there's nothing to sell or construct. You haven't lost anything. So I don't think that the consumer has issues from that perspective.
Okay.
If you've paid a very large payment for a pre-sales agreement, I think you have concerns about the building not proceeding and getting your pre-sales deposit back, you need to seek legal counsel pretty quick and deal with that. That's also dealt with under the Financial Institutions Commission.
Okay.
So contact the superintendent of real estate if that's a problem. So that's not an issue. If you are the Strata Corporation now, who is just formed, and you now have moved into the Strata, and we've had our first AGM of our Strata Corporation, the most important thing you have to do is you have to consider now, all right, we're in this building, what's our warranty worth? And the warranty has limitations to it. So it's $100,000 a unit to a maximum of $2.5 million per building. So essentially, you think about your new high-rise building, it has a $2.5 million capacity on the warranty.
Okay.
To protect that, you now have to start thinking about what your roles and responsibilities under that contract are. So it's incumbent on the consumers to take a very active role. Because if you don't do it, you miss warranty dates, you miss claim dates for different things that could happen.
Yep.
You may find you have no warranty coverage for it. There are very clear and specific obligations. The developer has an obligation to provide you with a maintenance manual. There are obligations to maintain and inspect components on the building as part of your warranty contract.
Yes, right.
There are obligations to report. There are obligations to report to the warranty provider in specific forms. You mail, you email, you fax. They have very specific instructions on how you report, and it maintains consistency in a communication process. So it's incumbent on the consumers to take a very active role and just don't assume somebody else is doing this for you.
And one way we are, as consumers, incredibly fortunate these days by way of being proactive on behalf of ourselves is the internet.
Absolutely.
You have a fantastic website at CHOA, the Condominium Homeowners Association. That's CHOA, CHOA.bc.ca. Fantastic website. It really is terrific. And especially, I approach, when I go to your website, which I do before we do every show,
right,
I just poke around, and I'm not a condominium guy, so I always just approach it as, well, what if I want to change my life and buy one? And I start looking for situations that you have answers for, and people have written you. Now, Wendy,
I love the website too. I use it all the time as a Strata owner.
It's a great website.
Yeah.
And you have one as well at the Homeowner Protection Office, and that is hpo.bc.ca.
That's right.
So there you go. Just a couple of internet possibilities to be proactive and educate yourself on some of these very important matters, of which we will discuss more after this quick timeout. It's Quay Pacific's Talk About Strata.
There's still more ahead with Experts on Call, the show focused on delivering relevant and beneficial consumer information. This is Experts on Call on AM 650.